Hey, Brother Dave's Hillbilly Homestead here again. Same day as the last video, only a little different topic. We're getting ready to plant the garden, and I really wanted to get the garden, get the brassicas out here today, but the electric fence that I bought wasn't long enough to go around the whole thing. And while I thought I could just kind of wrap it around far enough down that the chickens, free-ranging chickens, wouldn't go that far and get into the garden, I was proven wrong, because lo and behold, the first fence that I bought, which I knew wasn't long enough, I didn't notice when I bought it with the solar power charger that it wasn't poultry netting. In other words, the holes are big enough that a chicken can just barely squeeze through. So yesterday, after I set it all up and then went back in the cabin and waited a little while, came back out, and sure enough, there's one chicken out here in the garden. Now, chickens will not eat your onions or anything in that family, but they will dig them up, and I've reburied more than a few onions over the last couple of weeks. But this is the poultry netting here, and even if I didn't electrify it, it would keep probably 99% of the chickens out of there, because they just won't fly up over top of something if they don't have to. They're pretty lazy, and well, you call them bird brains for a reason, because they're birds. But anyway, I'm waiting until Friday for another length of electric fence to show up that is poultry netting, and we'll get that wrapped around, and then we'll get all of our brassicas planted. I did get the beds set up, marked out, ready to go, and we'll get all of our brassicas in those two beds. There are 7 different varieties of brassica. Brassicas are kale, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, all the stuff in that family, mustard and whatnot. So they'll all get planted in those 2 beds with spinach and Swiss chard with a little room to spare, and I'll get all my peppers and tomatoes in that next section before we get to the sawdust, which I put all the sawdust down last year, A, to stop the erosion a little bit, and B, to add more organic content to the soil. It needed just a little more. It's really good soil, but it needed some more organic content. And lo and behold, I was a little optimistic that that sawdust would decompose in just 9 months. So what we're going to do is we're going to compensate by planting all of our viney plants like cucumbers, squash, melons, cantaloupes. Will go into that sawdust section, and rather than trying to till it up, because you can't till that stuff under as it is before it's decomposed, because it'll suck all the nitrogen out of the soil and nothing will grow. But what we can do is dig down through it, open up a hole, fill it up with a little bit of regular soil and maybe some garden potting soil that we buy from the store, and plant right in there. And all those vines and whatnot will grow up out over the over top of the sawdust, and we'll hopefully get something. Down in the bottom there, I hope to get corn and beets. We do have the Jerusalem artichokes planted on the other side of the electric fence, right in front of the retaining wall. And I didn't fence in the Jerusalem artichokes because they're going to be just a natural 8-foot tall barrier to anything that wants to get in, and mostly down at that. And we're worried about deer and things like that. So that's where we are today on Brother Dave's Hillbilly Homestead. God loves you. I love you. Gubby loves you. Have a blessed day.